Ever since I saw Star Wars as a wide-eyed 8-year-old, I dreamt of being a hotshot pilot saving the galaxy, or a lovable rogue making my way across the cosmos. But I don't want to build any old game. I want to build a universe. I want to build a game I always wanted to build, but I didn't have the tools to do until now. Good or better than any other game out there, and I want to actively push the boundaries of what you can do in a game. I've never been accused of having a small vision. Is Chris Roberts, and I would like to build a universe with you.
Welcome to StarCast.
Geek Domo. We have some guests today. This is StarCast episode 87. Oh god, I can hear an echo.
Me too.
I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, I think it's gone now. So welcome. We have, as always, Clifford, aka Mewtwo, and Trendane. I think that's Trendane, or maybe somebody kidnapped him. Our special guests today are Twerk17. Claps.
What's up, guys?
And I'm WTFOSaurus. I am taking over for Geek Domo today. So this
Pirates
is gonna
have
be,
invaded.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. Hopefully we'll stay on track, but it is what it is. Yeah, probably not. Probably not going to happen. Well, it's a good thing this is also known as Vapidcast, so it's all good. So, Twerk17, would you mind telling us why we are here today?
We are here today, well, because it's our 1-year anniversary of streaming, I think. Both of us.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say being married, but...
Well,
right?
That might be true as well. But it's not legal in my state, so we can't really... It's not official.
Come to Canada.
All right.
It's legal here.
Yeah.
You can't eat an egg, like... Your face isn't on. You can't eat that. Yeah. Trendane didn't put his makeup on today.
I'll get it. Hang on.
Yeah.
There's money.
Yeah.
Carry on. No.
Anyways, so what? I guess we'll start with what everybody's been up to this past week since last StarCast. Clifford, what have you been up to?
Other than working like a dog and getting ready for summer college, I've been, of course, going on and offline with you, getting my OBS set up because I've never tried OBS before, so I'm going to try it out on stream and try and start getting geared back up to stream a little bit more often, at least on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays maybe. Other than that, I haven't really been doing much other than, reading on the forums and staying up with the Star System news like usual and seeing what new Q&As were answered on the Gemini, which was recently released, which picking up 2 of those, of course.
Of course.
Of course. But that's about it. Today, what are you doing?
I think he's putting on his face. Oh,
there it is.
Hey.
There it is.
Makeup's done.
There we go. Beautiful. You look beautiful. You can't even hear us.
No.
Nope, nothing. All these words just going into...
Well, it's like his hair goes everywhere, so it makes me want to say, like, great Scott, you know?
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
All those words just gone to nothingness now. They're gone forever into space. What about yourself, Trendane? What have you been up to?
Um, I interviewed at Capcom on Tuesday.
This is exciting.
Nice.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Not really. No.
Well, I mean,
All right.
it's going back to, well, if I get the position, which I won't know until either later today or Monday, it would mean going back to QA, which is not what I want to do with my life, but it would be some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Income.
Cash. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Revenue stream.
But it would mean that I would not be able to do this show anymore. So.
Oh. Yeah, that would suck.
Sweet and sour.
But you know, I think the income part is a little more important. So.
Right. So if you have questions to ask,
Yeah.
make sure you type that thing.
Exclamation mark question, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's the
Exclamation
one.
point questions. That's right. If you guys have any questions in chat, exclamation point questions, you'll get a little link there and just fill that out with your questions. And Twerk17, what have you been up to all week?
Lots of streaming. So, Star Citizen mostly. A lot of Hyper Vanguard Force, though. A lot of Hyper Vanguard Force. That and just obviously got to represent my New York Rangers. Eastern Conference Finals, so that happened this week. And yeah, just a lot of streaming Star Citizen, a lot of work, and just kind of enjoying life.
Have you
Started a
managed?
diet.
Yeah. Started a diet. Paleo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I'm psychic. How far have you gotten in Hyper Vanguard Force? I can't get past the second level on Hyper Pink.
I just got to the second level of Hyper Pink, but
Yeah,
like
you know
just
what,
was able to play it, but have
Okay.
not finished.
My ship is fully upgraded. I can make it to the end boss. There's no way.
That's what everyone says. They get to
it's
the end
not-
boss and it's
not
done.
fair. Have either of you other guys played Hyper Vanguard Force yet?
No, I'm sad
No.
to say I have not touched
No.
it yet.
It is
Actually,
pretty fun.
Is it a combat game?
It's a shmup, like an old school shoot 'em up.
So there's
Like-
combat?
I guess so.
Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit.
Fair enough.
You
Fair enough.
cannot truck cargo from one side
Yeah,
of the screen
but
to the
if
other.
it was
Unfortunately.
like old, what was that game where you got dysentery?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon
if it was like
Trail.
Oregon
Oh.
Trail, if
We
they
had
made
that
Oregon
already.
Trail-
Well,
We had
Well,
that
I
a couple
know.
We
months
kind of
ago.
did.
yeah.
And I nailed that. I got my badge
Was-
first time through, man.
Oh.
Me too.
okay, what I'm thinking they could do is have, like, say for instance, I don't know, a Caterpillar or Hull A, have it to where the ship actually drags like cargo behind it, and that you have to weave in and out of asteroids to keep it from knocking the pieces of cargo off of your ship. You know, basically to where you're down to like one piece of cargo and then you lose. But the cargo kind of swings around and stuff, so it makes you have to really plan your route.
I bet they would do something like similar to the Orion one, where like you have to manage the prices, right?
Yeah, like if you ever played Drug Wars back on, like, I remember I had it on BlackBerry. It was a pretty popular little like
It's
text
like a
game.
Facebook game. I
Starcast
think, yeah.
does not endorse the using of drugs.
No,
Yeah.
no. But it was just like a little game where you would like, it was like a economics game, right? But yeah, it's something like that as well. Would be kind of neat. But who knows what little mini games that they're going to continue to make and pump out. I imagine Hyper Vanguard Force
I have a hard
Or-
time saying it sometimes too.
will not be the last one that we see.
I want to see
sorry,
them make a
the fourth one.
pinball. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say it was the fourth one. Of course it's not going to be the last one.
Yeah, I want to see them make a little mini pinball
So-
game one too.
I want to see the first three.
Clifford, just tell them. Just send them a message on Concierge being like, I would like to see a pinball game.
That would be awesome.
And then it'll get done.
Well, you know, and that makes me think of like, because eventually when I get my game room finished, I love pinball machines, actual real life. I know a guy here in Houston that you can pay money and he will mold and make you a pinball machine. You can have him commission one. I would so commission a Star Citizen pinball
Before
machine.
Clifford goes and buys a pinball machine.
Star Citizen pinball machine confirmed.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
And then just get all the team to come out and sign it for you, and
Oh, that would be.
Look at his face. Just light up.
I would so put that back in the truck and take it to a convention and say, "Here,
That's such
sign
a
it,
good
Chris
idea.
Roberts, please."
Yeah.
Or basically what I would do is I would have before I have him put it together, I would take the bottom, the actual bottom plating in it that goes into the deal,
Bring
take
it
it
with
to
you.
them, and let them sign it, and then have it placed into the.
I was going to say, do you know what's going to happen? Because Lando's going to get the fattest silver marker he can find.
Yeah.
And
Oh
he's going to
no!
sign all across the glass so the game is unplayable.
No,
you can't.
well, you forget. You forget.
Right
He
over the
always,
high score.
Lando has a bad habit about just signing the back of things. So he would just sign the back. That's what he does with all the posters we ever had. He would sign the back. That's how he does it.
Okay, here's my contribution to the game design. When you get onto the upper level tracks, like you're piloting through a jump point, your bumper buttons now change which tracks you go through, and so you have to pilot your way through the rails on the upper level to successfully get to the thing.
That's cool. And then has the little
you bounce off of, and like.
Yeah, and then
Jump
it'll bash you
point.
through the little loop deal and you give you extra points.
You know when your pinball goes into something and it holds it there and then it spits it out somewhere else? That could be your jump points.
Yeah.
You could have.
There's got to be Vandal
there's all
involved
kinds of
somehow.
stuff.
Yeah. A Vandal that would shoot out a pinball at you and knock your pinball out of the way. That would be kind of cool.
That would be really awesome. Also, we are doing a giveaway this episode, courtesy of Clifford, aka Miku. So, Clifford, do you want to tell everybody what they could potentially win?
Yes. Since we've been invaded by pirates, we're giving away a Cutlass Black package, which has the full 6 months of insurance, 5,000 UEC, the digital game soundtrack, digital map, the manual, the digital Squadron 42 manual, the Squadron 42 digital download, Star Citizen digital download, and then beta access. I don't think you'd still have to get the Arena Commander portion.
Arena Commander Pass, which is, I don't think it comes with the Cutlass. They don't have a package for that.
Yeah.
But that's just an additional $5.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And then hopefully
Epicness.
soon your FPS pass.
So we would really like it to go to a new backer, like somebody who doesn't own a ship, because this would be a great way to get them into Star Citizen, especially an Epic way because of how Source has touted the Cutlass of having so much good modularity in it from the images that they have shown us. I think it will be a great ship for somebody who wants a really multi-tool ship.
Yeah, so I know Domo's setting that up, so I'm not sure
I don't know what the
keyword is.
Yeah.
But keep your eye on chat, and he will let you know what that is. Maybe we'll make it. I don't know. Domo. That's up to Domo.
Well, Domo could do exclamation point pirate or something. Since we're invaded.
What if they don't want to be a pirate? What if they just want to Drake and not be a pirate?
They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice.
But I'm pretty sure Domo will throw it in there. So.
Yeah. So why don't we get started on the news for this week?
All right.
Whoever wants to take it away.
Oh my God! Let me see here. Partial, I guess, of the news was them actually. Well, I guess it wasn't really no news, but they, gave us a little FPS spiel on a lot of the game mechanics that they've been working hard on, from esports of Sadaball to the actual map we'll be fighting on, to the different game modes, and then also if you're a subscriber, they also gave us in the subscriber den a whole host of badass pictures, which actually later I will link to y'all. I will link it in chat for y'all guys to see. I downloaded a bunch of them, put them on there. So
they're amazing.
There were a lot of really awesome pictures.
Yeah.
So there's the link in chat, guys. Y'all can take a look at those. Those are all the new FPS pictures that they posted. They're badass. Take a look at them. This is shaping up to be.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
See it, haha, neener.
Yeah. Hey, okay, there you go. Exclamation point, yar. Yar.
There you go, yar.
Yar.
3 R's.
R. I'm trying to think of, I guess other than that, going over they were doing a lot of stuff about the Gemini and its capabilities, it being more heavily armored, less cargo capacity, but it would
and
be
less maneuverable, which is like the scary thing.
Yeah,
Let me interrupt for 1 second. Reminder that Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any giveaways on this channel, and you must be following the channel to win. So just keep that in mind, guys. Sorry about cutting you off. Giver.
Yeah, no problem. As Dumbo's going through all the pictures there, I mean they're really, it's going to be awesome, especially being able to go through the vents. You know, and plus going into 0G, you're not only going to have to be looking behind your back, behind the corners, but looking above to the, you know, maybe cornered up to the side. Somebody could be crawling out of a vent and you don't even know it. And
that was the coolest picture I saw. I was like, oh my god, we can crawl through vents. This is going to be ridiculous.
Well, I know that they talked about the vent stuff, but until we actually saw it, it was like, oh, it looked a lot like Alien Isolation, like how the vents are.
Yep.
In
and then you just start.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
You just start like playing. You just start playing like how the game's gonna play in your head. Like I'm totally gonna be a sniper and just hang out on that vent.
Well, and also I'm wondering, and this might be a cue if Sig is in chat. I would also like to see as a utility, you know how they have the holograms and the shields. I would like you to be able to throw a little bot that will actually crawl through the vents to hunt these guys down. Like it'll have like a little turret on it and it would go through there and it'd be easy for them to kill it, but it would add a little dynamic to it of, hey, you better be, you know, watching your back in the vents. Yeah. Because something might be crawling through the vent system to get you.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. Like the only thing that I'm kind of curious about is we know that in Gold Horizon, that level, there's the ability to turn gravity on and off. So when you're up floating, and this doesn't really apply to the other one because it's always in 0G, from what I understand. But when you're up floating right now, if you're above a platform in free flight and you fall too far, you die. So is that going to be a thing? Like if everybody's flying around in 0G, flying,
oh my god,
right?
Yeah,
and somebody turns on gravity, does that just slam everybody? And just like
I would think definitely
auto win.
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, well, then that even adds a whole new dynamic that you're always going to need a team guarding the gravity machine if it's turned off, or if somebody's trying to, you know, turn it off or turn it on, have somebody constantly there guarding that segment. That would. Yes, Renee?
I was going to say that you mentioned the little drone going through the things. It should be like the MSE-6, the little mouse drone from the Death Star, the one that Chewbacca roars at and goes running off.
Yeah.
It needs to be just like that. And they can talk about there being mice in the vents and stuff. And
that would be awesome.
Sorry,
awesome little repair drones that run around the station.
What do you guys think about the helmets?
Yeah.
Oh, the helmets?
Yeah, then we also saw the, and we're looking at that right now, is the armor and everything for both the Marines and the Outlaws, or Pirates. Looked pretty cool. The heavy armor, I think, obviously looked the coolest. That's my personal thing, but yeah, I don't know about that green camo.
Well, I was going to say, not very useful.
Well, see, I'm also curious about this. Cool. Okay, Source, even with the heavy helmet armor and even the light ones that we're seeing, one thing they haven't showed, but it is in the sub. If you're a subscriber, you can see in the sub flare portion that they do show off the early designs of the. And we haven't seen it. I'm curious because in other MMOs, you got the emote that will actually raise your visor and lower it. I'm curious to see how these visors are going to lift and close. Because that also adds another dynamic, because when you lift your hood, you're not going to see because sometimes you might have to lift your hood or even take off your helmet because it might get damaged. Somebody might hit it and break your glass and you can't see worth the crap. So you have to take off your helmet to continue fighting.
Yeah, and then you're going to lose any of the targeting that's associated with your gun without having to look down the sights or anything like that as well.
Most likely your map and everything, right?
I'm sure they'll just have a keybind for it, just like everything else. You know, I'm pretty sure that Star Citizen, especially in the FPS, but as well with the ship stuff, when we get more of the IFCS control, we're going to be using all of the keys on the keyboard. We're already using quite a bit, and it's just going to become more, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes like just the key that we press.
Oh, I'm going to become I'm going to become an FPS monster because I play plenty of FPS. That's why I got my Razor Orb Weaver right here because it's got the little movable button, so I'm just able to spacebar this, and it's so much more tactile. So I really get into FPS shooters when I get everything pre-programmed, and so because I can instantly on the fly throw out a grenade, do this, do that, just on the fly really quickly when I macro everything to this thing. So it's there's going to be some really it's really going to be a testament to see how they're going to make the functionality of each controller setup, because a lot of people are going to be using, the hand controllers, but the people who are using mouse, keyboard, and Orb Weaver or whatever, it's really going to be a testament of seeing what's
concern.
Concern.
Well, I mean, even with GTA, which I've been playing a lot lately, some people I use a controller for driving, because it's much better. But I use my mouse and keyboard for shooting, and I don't know how people shoot with one of these things. I know they turn auto aim and stuff on, but
I think a lot of it's the auto aim in that game.
Yeah, since you turned me on to driving with the controller, and everything, it was much easier than trying a mouse and keyboard, and then mouse and keyboard, like you said, is easier to shoot.
Yeah, it's just organizing that so when you're driving and shooting at the same time or something.
Yes.
But I'm sure it'll be the same thing with Star Citizen, right? Like I know a lot of us, I think all of us have HOTAS, right? So we'll all be flying with HOTAS, but when we're down in the social module, or if we're in combat in FPS or something like that, definitely not using HOTAS to move around. I don't know anybody who's planning on doing that.
And see, that's why definitely in my situation, my setup, because I have this drawer that pulls out, and I usually have my HOTAS sitting in front of me. And yes, I can reach over it and do my mouse and keyboard, but eventually I want to do like you had talked about, have my HOTAS setting on each. When I have my new desk setup, which it won't have this long arm, I have my HOTAS set up on, my joystick and control on both sides, to where then I can switch in front of me and do my mouse and keyboard, so that I'm abated by both.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a solution to sort of mount. Like, I don't know where I want to put it. My desk is a little bit too high.
Well, so far the best solution I've seen, and Baron's done it, because I've shown him, and I've shown many people that that die kit that you can basically build it out of PVC pipe. That's the only best solution so far. Other than like what I've talked to you about was because I am in the industry, I'm used to welding and MIG welding. Weld one out of aluminum, because I can heat the arc and do all that, and just once I built prefab it out of PVC pipe, I can do all my measurements and actually weld one out.
Yeah, the only concern for me is like how much space that takes up. Like in between, this is my green screen right here. This is my desk. Like I have literally this much space, and that's the space I sit in. So I could move it back maybe and whatever, but it gets all over the place. But moving on. So FPS, I know that they talked about reverse the verse. They were talking about dual pistols.
Ooh.
And what are your thoughts about that, being as this is something that they keep saying, oh, this is going to be like Rainbow Six, or it's going to be like Arma or whatever, and less like Call of Duty or Battlefield, but then they've gone and said this. Like, how are you going to do things like deploy your little things like the shield or the hologram, or throw grenades and things like that?
I think that'll be part of the balance a little bit. Like you'll get to have two guns, but you won't get to have access to all these extras.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
And like what the aiming is gonna be like, and because you wouldn't be able to. Well, maybe you could shoot down sights if you have them both out like this.
Yeah, like what would hip fire or what ready stance would be like? With two guns. I don't know.
Yeah,
would you just be like this, or
Well, even though I guess it's like that same analogy. You're not going to I don't think you can iron sight it. It's basically it'll give you a better hit box, I guess, but still it's a downgrade because you're not actually iron sighting it. You're just basically, as long as there's something right in front of that direction, you'll likely hit it. Having two pistols, but you're going to forego, because if you're running around getting heavy breathing, you're going to be all shifty like this and everything. So it's a give or take. It'll look cool, but
we'll see how effective it is, I guess.
go ahead, Trendane.
I was going to say, so clearly The only thing that you can do to compensate for that is to John Woo them. That way you're looking right down the middle of both of them at the same thing. And then bang, ow! And drop everything and then...
Or Boondock Saints. Same thing with the whatever.
Yeah.
Be pretty cool. I know, I just hope we get some sort of minigun type thing so I can just walk through with heavy armor and just minigun everything.
They got guns like that. I've seen some...
In Zero Gravity?
Yeah. Well, it pushes you away from them and shoots them at the same time.
How do you think that's a really good point?
It's an aggressive and exit strategy.
That's a really good point, though, with some of the more powerful guns. Like, when you're in a zero-G situation, but like, if you fire it while you're floating...
Well, maybe they can put little miniature thrusters on the other side of it, so when it shoots, it balances it out.
Well, you do have the little wheels on your back. I would think they would have the little generated deal.
Do they automatically compensate for when you let go?
I would think so because isn't the
your weapons are connected
hood?
To your suit?
Yeah, there you go. And I think your suit, either they could use thrusters or use an alternate, like your deal actually generates like a gravity field behind you and actually kind of gives you that counterbalance of gravity. I would think.
Chinese, they're trying to figure this out.
No. What I'm thinking of is I'm thinking in the balance department. Thinking, okay, the trade-off is if you're going to use this much heavier gun, your suit can't compensate for that much vectored force.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got little pistols and you're going pew 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 and they're right next to each other and you're not doing this shit, then fine. Your suit thrusters are capable of countering the pushback from these weapons. But if you're going to use something big like that, you need to be anchored on an object. And it's going to be more difficult for you but you're not going to go flying all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we do have mag boots, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that could anchor us down. It's not going to be 0 FPS or 0G all the time. So maybe it's something that's only really super effective in 0G or in actual gravity. And then when 0G is turned off, it's like, okay, well, even though I was this big heavy dude with the crazy minigun, now it's not so effective because it's like a fire hose now, and I'm just like
exactly. Like it should be less accurate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it most likely wouldn't be accurate anyway.
Awesome footage.
Yes.
You just spinning around in 0G.
Because you've got it over on one side, so you're going to spin.
Rotating.
And see, also my curiosity is this: when you go into 0G, you're going to have all these objects floating around you. So if somebody throws a grenade in 0G and it blows this shit everywhere, it literally a crate, like you've seen those big drums that might be floating, could literally come swinging at you and hit you and like break your leg or even throw you into a wall and knock you the heck out.
We also have to see what grabby hands and everything is going to be like too, like whether we're going to be whether we're going to be able to like hold on to something while we're shooting or like what that may affect whether when they turn off like gravity and stuff like that, if you hang from stuff or whatever as well.
And when you're talking about grabbing hands, we even seen you shoot down another player and you grab his weapon.
Yeah.
And throw your weapon away and grab their weapon and start,
firing. And like in most FPSs, that's obviously a mechanic. So I would assume that's going to be there. I just wonder how smooth and awesome it's going to look.
See, and I would even take it a step further. If say your helmet is damaged and you knock somebody out and you can take off their helmet and put it on, and then thus you have your hood back up and going again. Yep. That would be awesome.
And you're like, oh God, you had onion rings.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is a pirate who didn't shower for a month. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Because I mean, you're in space. Maybe not everybody has access to
the shower. Although we have showers in most of our ships now.
But I mean, like we were talking about helmets, it would be also cool if you get shot and it actually does an effect where you spit out blood and it goes on your helmet and you can't see, so you really have to take your helmet off to be able to see.
I think they mentioned some splatter for sure.
Well, I mean, we saw it in one of the images. Yeah. We saw one of the images where it gets hit in the side and there's blood spray. Now
it's like floating, right?
Well, it's just blood spray. It's not necessarily floating. They have gravity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Trendane's finding something hilarious.
It just reminded me of red versus blue. Well, who spit on my visor? Sorry.
And so, I'm wondering that in 0G, are we going to see like this blood spray and like like bullet shells and stuff just sort of being suspended in space, and I mean that could add a lot to the environment.
Yeah, just floating through and just having a couple shells bounce off your helmet.
Well, we already kind of see that in, at least I saw it in the tutorial. You know, when you're firing your minigun, and you can see the casings flying out into space.
Yeah.
Yep.
So precedent is already there.
Yeah,
But
even in Arena Commander, it's like with the miniguns, you still see them as well. But as soon as you start moving, even though you'll be moving ever so slightly, you don't see them floating behind you. That was the only thing I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But if you're suspended standing still, they're flying out.
Got you. Because
Fair enough.
Yeah. And y'all mentioned Rainbow Six. See, I haven't played Rainbow in a long time, so I don't know. I don't know what mechanics this will play into. I would figure they would still go with the more like Battlefield feel to it.
Yeah.
Not making it too difficult, but still tactical enough that, you know. And then also, I'm kind of curious because they said, you know, everything has a mass to it and adds weight. Like, if you're carrying around, like, on your belt, whatever, the hollow deal and stuff, as you deploy those out, you get lighter and lighter, so then you get more maneuverable, I would think.
And lose less stamina, right? Because they made a big deal about stamina, so...
And then same with the armor. I think that's obviously going to affect that, and they've even said that. So it should be really interesting to see all the mechanics that do come in with FPS, whenever that may be. But yeah, moving forward, we had 1.1.3 go live recently.
Yes.
It went straight to public. No PTU, no nothing. It went from 1.1.2 to 1.1.3. I know that they fixed the Cutlass. So that was a really big deal, and fixed this basically the overall smoothness of loading into maps and playing the actual battle.
Okay, you're saying 1.1.3 went straight
to live. It didn't go to a PTU.
Why is there a PTU up currently then right now?
That's a different PTU.
That's a different PTU, and that is specifically to test the the normal or. You know, the normal stress test. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Okay. That they're stress testing on the PTU instead of, which I think is weird because a lot of people don't download the PTU, but they're stress testing the PTU to.
And that's happening right now, I think.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh no! That's thank you for clarifying that because I didn't know, and maybe some of the audience might didn't know because I was just kind of curious that so currently you can play 1.1.3. right now, but this other version of it is the stress test, whatever they're doing in the background, I guess server wise.
Yeah, I think they want to go back to 1.1, because it's still 1.1.2, I think, for that, and it's that's where they really want to get their information on why all this stuff is happening. Because the Cutlass fix was a little hot fix. It wasn't like the end all be all fix for it, is my understanding, and going in the PTU and testing there is where they're really going to get the information they need to fix all the issues that kind of just happened with the 1.1.2 patches. So, as
well as putting more players into matches as well, right?
Yes.
So
which
doing
I think
that
1.1.3
8 versus 8.
Oh
no, I don't think it is right now.
Yeah, Proctus just put something in chat. It says the PTU today was for multi-threaded physics in 8 versus 8 squadron battle. They also turned on 10 versus 10 squadron battle, but so many people tried to launch those matches that it crashed us back in.
Good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they need to figure that stuff all out now.
Yeah, especially for
FPS. Yeah. But I mean, someone asked on Revert. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I don't know if you guys have seen the graph of how many people are actually playing Star Citizen right now. And then if you balance that up towards the amount of people who actually have stars, it's like me and you and 10 of our viewers.
Yeah.
It's not very many people playing it right now, so I can imagine they want to make sure that this is as working as well as possible before they put that FPS in, because it's going to bring a lot of people in. Even the people who aren't interested in FPS are going to want to try it out and test it out and run around and maybe play SATA ball or whatever.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah, but that was interesting. Thank you, Proxys, because I didn't know that. It's so a lot of people know what's going on, so that they could really hammer the PTU the best of our abilities so that they can really fix this issue. So that because the sooner they get this fixed, that means the sooner we might actually get FPS. This might be the one thing that's holding them back is getting the servers situated.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one thing they said on Reverse the Verse today. Somebody asked a good question. It was, is the FPS stuff holding back other patches? And they were just like, no. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Now, you have the transcript for Around the Verse, episode 44. Clifford, is there anything really big or anything worth mentioning that...
I thought the lighting stuff was really cool.
Yeah, because because a lot of people asked a good question on Reverse to Verse on about like because with the them incorporating, because they mentioned the Mustang going through its the new damage state system, that they're revamping. No, they're not revamping the Mustang. They're just putting it through the new damage state system, which is going to add a little bit more lights to it, more effect, finesse.
Yeah,
to it.
Just that extra fidelity.
Yeah, which is
Their
really
favorite
cool.
word.
Yeah. Now, for me, the ship shape thing was what I thought. Like, a lot of people really appreciated the showing the Mustang and stuff. I thought the ship shape thing was we were going to be talking about ships that aren't in yet and where they're kind of at and what's going on with those and how they're working with the reworks and everything. Because I know we have the Avenger, the Constellation, the Cutlass. All the ships are going to have to go through rework for the new damage states. I know a lot of ships are getting redone, either both the interior or the exterior as well. And so that's what I thought that was going to be about. So I'm excited to obviously hear more about the Cutlass, because that sort of went away and nothing's happened. Same with the Avenger. It sort of went away. We know there's going to be variants for it.
Yeah, and they said it's supposed to look super awesome because it's going to be like it's going to look different from the base model. Like they said they're making.
Right.
It
really?
Look, yeah. They said they mentioned.
I don't really like the base model.
Yeah, they said it's, I don't know why, but they said especially on the Avenger they are making the variants look so different from each other that you won't. It'll still have the kind of same silhouette, but they'll be so different. You'll want a different. You want the other ships because it's so different from the others. Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys feel about this, and this can go for anything, for a cargo ship or anything. The variants, don't you kind of wish that they all looked really different from each other? Like instead of just a different loadout, like a lot of the 300s and stuff like that. Like
the Herald. The Herald's a good example. Like they said that you'll be able to go with the asymmetrical or the ugly duckling. Yes, I think the variants should look pretty different from each other. Like
with the Cutlasses, I thought they did a pretty good job with that, where the hulls were, slightly different. They did look different,
Yeah.
The front, had different aesthetics to them. But I know one of the other concerns that they were having was if somebody wanted this cockpit on this ship or this one on the other one, is that going to be modular or whatever? And I don't know if it should be. I don't know what's happening. At first they said they weren't going to do that. Then they kind of alluded to the fact that they were going to allow that to happen. And then they've gone, we don't know where that's sitting as well. But going back to what I brought up, that's what I thought the ship shape was about. So when they said that they were showing the reskins and whatever, I guess it's still sort of appropriate to it. But
I'm thinking the reason why they did that is maybe that they're still, because I'm feeling also they kind of rushed that portion of the show just to get it out there, and she might be needing something to fill in while she gets caught up on everything to where she can start throwing us the new stuff we want to see, in ship shape. Yeah.
That's definitely valid as well.
Yeah, and especially showing off that they don't even have a logo for the actual show yet. It shows how behind they kind of are on it. But yeah, I think that's a good idea to work that more differentiation between the variants. Will even maybe get more people to buy into Star Citizen, because be like, well, I like the Avenger, but I want it to be this much different from the other one, or I like, it gives them a reason to buy into an Avenger or a Cutlass or a Herald.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was it. Was there anything else
Yes,
really big
yes,
and around?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
This is
yes.
something.
Yeah. I
Something
loved it.
Clifford's very
I
excited
mean,
about.
yeah.
I
I
was gonna
mean,
say.
no, yeah. I was very excited because the man showed up for once. I've been
Yeah.
missing some Chris Robertses, and I saw him, and he looked like he was having fun, a blast. Because he was finally in his element.
Yeah.
Directing again. He was. You could tell that's where he needed to be, and I'm so glad to see how happy he is because it's because I know the reason why I think more or less they shot Sandy with him was to kind of look at him and keep him in check because he would want to spill a lot of stuff because this is going to be like you watching a AAA film. I mean, it's going to go so far beyond he's ever done before, and just from seeing him on 10 from the Chairman and seeing him in that video. He looks so refreshed, like he's had so much rest, and that so much more life has been brought into him again. Because the other 10 from Chairman, he kind of slowly degraded over time, getting more and more tired. But now it's just like he was really enthusiastic and just like a new breath of fresh air. Especially hearing how he talked, where we recently on like the 10 from Producer and stuff, how they were all like staying in this little nice home, that was really
I think that's funny.
like a frat house, bare bones, But also, I think it'll bring them more together, as a team. That they could just sit there and just say, "Hey, we're just normal people, doing our work, coming home," and then I would so love to be in their shoes right now, to be able to walk with Chris Roberts to the studio and back just as a normal day at the office, walking back and then having a couple coffee in the morning and, let's go to work, guys, and then coming home and talking about the day and winding down.
Being a fly on the wall when they all get home from work.
Oh, yeah.
And just listening to those conversations about what they're having, about where the direction the game's going in and all that stuff would be really cool.
And I could see them like maybe even playing old school board games and stuff like that because because knowing this house, they might not they'll have their laptops and systems, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of bare bonesy. So
Clifford wants to move into the house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think of it this way. He's also really budget oriented, so I'm pretty sure he's keeping it a tight clinch on everything on what they spend and what they do. And then of course the biggest thing right now, of course, Ben being out of place right now because Sandy's gone, is Sandy's there, and she's also in her element because of being a model and actress from past time. She's getting back into her role of what she's more comfortable in. I think Sandy's more geared to this than she is into marketing. I think this is her niche, is doing what she's doing now, doing the mocap. And because not necessarily actually being in Squadron 42, she is going to be in it, but also being one of the basically test dummies as one of the standard models. I'm pretty sure they're using her for a lot of the standard movements of the female models and everything.
Yeah.
The ragdoll effects and everything. So, to seeing her get involved in it, I'm pretty sure. And then plus her and Chris being together, this is kind of like a family deal. So I'm pretty sure they're having a good time as a couple too doing this.
Yeah, and you said how Chris looks really relaxed and like in his element and like really like, super happy and everything. Remember that this is also his baby. He's over there. It seems like he only has to focus on one thing right now. And when he was in Santa Monica, he's all over the place, right? He has to make sure all the studios are working properly, even if he's not dealing with them directly and he's dealing with the producers and stuff like that. There's a whole we see new producers what feels like every week, right? So they have a pretty big team, and it seems like right now all that weight has been lifted off his shoulders, and he's just going over there just to direct the mocap, and that's what he's doing. And I think that it's kind of almost like a little, it may be like a little holiday for him where he gets to go back into the movie world, do his directing and all that stuff, and able to actually focus on the game instead of focusing on the people to focus on the game kind of thing.
Well, and then I think it also shows the trust that he's built with his team. He's got his full trust in Aaron and Travis Day and all them. Yeah, he's got total trust in them and what they're doing, so he's able to, and that's good. If you have that type of a team, you're going to turn out a badass game when you have people you can rely on. That basically, if he finishes it, if he starts a sentence, they end it of how he would say it fully. I think that's the type of team he has with him now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're showing his face on there now. He looks really happy.
You can see him just like
just smiling.
Really, well, he looks really good. I mean, and especially, and also this kind of tells you, this is imaginary. They made badass movies on this set, and seeing all that technology there, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's also getting a damn good deal for what he's doing over there, just because of his connections and who he's are. I'm pretty sure he's not having to pay as much as a normal, saying somebody nonchalant walks up there and saying, hey, I'm producing this movie, I want to use your studio. I'm pretty sure they've worked out quite a good deal with them.
Just people wanting to be a part of this has to be something, right? Like, I think it's not quite there yet, but we all know where this is going to be towards, like, right before the release of this game. To say you're a part of this it's going to be something big, And if saying all the stuff was done at Imaginarium, or AMD is involved, like, that's going to help them.
It's going to help those companies as well, right? Well, they do a lot of advertising for them.
And it's like we talked about the development of the HOTAS. Eventually they might not be on board now, but when this game nears the end of its production style and goes into full-blown game, they're going to probably have a bunch of people wanting to knock down on their door and saying, hey, we want this in the game. We'll give you a lot of
joysticks.
Joysticks. We want to invest into your game. And this might be, because we also talked about off stream, and I know a lot of people might be against this about subscription, because I still have this fear that they're going to need some kind of extra income to keep, pushing the game forward. But also this might be the alternate way of them doing that, is to get all these companies on board once they see, oh man, we need to get in on this, because it'll be good for our corporation and good for them at the same time.
Now, before we move forward, just a reminder, we are doing a Cutlass Black game package giveaway donated by Clifford, aka Miku. I don't know how much time is left on that, so Domo, if you could just type in chat and let us know how much time is left on that. Make sure that you're following.
3 seconds.
Make sure you're following the channel, !YAR with a rolling R. Rrr, there is a Miku right there.
It's my Minecraft Miku.
37 minutes left. Okay, perfect. So 37 minutes left to get in that. Remember, Twitch does not sponsor or endorse this giveaway.
I think only Otis sponsors it. I think
it's sponsored by Otis. There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Also, Star Citizen was in the news lately. PC Gamer and the Tech Report. Did either of you? I haven't seen these articles myself.
Didn't even know of them.
Yeah. One is Star Citizen's FPS module is called Star Marine from PC Gamer. And did any of you guys happen to read that or hear about it?
Yeah, that's why I'm always looking for articles in the news, because I always try and eyeball, like, okay, I know the news as we get it because of the open platform that is Star Citizen, but I also like to keep my eye on the actual commentators that usually like to either really badger a game real bad or give it high props, because I want to see what the media is going to do on, because there's still so many more people out there that don't even know what Star Citizen is. And I always like to kind of, keep these guys in check and balances and maybe make people aware of, hey, Star Citizen community, you need to look at these articles and make sure that they're, showing this game in a good light. If they're not, get on their forums, get on their comments, and bash the hell out of them for it. Because it's a good thing. If we keep them in check, they'll actually do some actual good reporting.
Yeah. Realize that it's not a fully released game.
Yeah, so many people just don't understand yet what it is. It's so different. The whole process.
It can be confusing to explain what it is. Like, to try and sum it up in a paragraph or something like that, or even a small article. let alone like then explain what this FPS thing is, and then it's an alpha and everything else. It can be pretty tough, I think.
It's the point where somebody asks, so what is this Star Citizen thing? And you go,
Yeah.
and as soon as you hear
There's
that,
always a breath.
oh shit.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so where
always
do
a
I
breath.
start? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always or a or for me, yeah, it's like I don't know like where to start.
Every
I'll
time
cover this
someone-
section. One of my mods cover this section.
Yeah.
You know about this, and then take all that, wrap it up in bacon, and send it out. And that's pretty much what it is.
What is Star
Every
Citizen?
time-
How much time have you got?
Exactly. Every time someone asks me, how do I buy this game? It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like, all right, go to the website, go to pledge, or go to
But
store.
what are all these other
click
ships? Do I have
pledge.
to buy all these? And,
Yeah.
and yeah. It just,
And then the next thing is, can I go from planet to planet? And I'm like,
But I'm just,
not yet.
and like we spoke about y'all's 1 year anniversary, and I'm taken back by like just trying to spin my memory back to when it first began, the
Yes.
original website and everything, and seeing the original hangar, how we were so hyped up back in the days of Wingman's hangar and everything, and seeing where it was then and now trying to explain it now, because there's just so much
Yeah.
that because Chris's vision was so much, you knew his vision was going to be this, but it was more leashed on a tight
Yeah.
leash back then than it is now, because it went beyond his wildest dreams of how much people were willing to give for that vision.
Mhm.
And now
it's
it's
crazy now.
Yeah.
Oh, just a reminder, guys, if you have any questions, we're coming up to that part soon. ! Question in chat.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And that'll give you the form to fill out. Make sure you ask us whatever questions are on your mind.
Wow,
About
Domo
Star
just
Citizen
said
or us or whatever.
we started StarCast September 2013.
Good.
Just
Wow.
think about that.
Good googly moogly.
No, I will not think about that. I
That's
will
awesome.
not. I refuse.
Yeah, because I remember what was it? Domo, who did you have on the first one? It was I know it was definitely God. They're gonna kick my ass. Because I watched because that's how I first found out. Well, even before the SARScast show, first discovering Geek Domo was was imagination itself. But I digress. But it's just neat of how everything has progressed to this point, and now in the future, once FPS drops, I just think the momentum is just going to just go off the hinge when FPS drops, and then all of a sudden you have this AAA like movie and it's just going to be the first episodic episode of Squadron 42. You still got two other ones that are going to drop.
I'm really excited for when FPS drops, just for the reason that it seems like the ball is going to actually start rolling.
Yeah.
Like with content, right? We're going to see the FPS, and then social module isn't much different from FPS. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Then that sort of comes out. Then we start to see the Arena Commander 2.0 stuff. Then we start to see beginnings of the FPS. Then we start to see beginnings of Squadron 42 all over the next couple months, which is going to be a huge amount of content compared to what we like. Yeah, we've seen a lot of patches for Arena Commander, and it's gone from 0.8, which is when we started streaming, all the way up to now. We're at 1.1.3, and it's come so far, but at the same time, it's still just been Arena Commander.
And one thing that keeps in my mind, a map that they're leaving out that they haven't even discussed in a long, long time, is the mining, the Shubin mining deal, because that you don't even need multi-crew ship to FPS in, because all you need is Hornets to land and go into FPS mode and take on the station. So that's one of the maps that they haven't even talked about, that they're still gray boxing, and well, I'm pretty sure they're way past that now, but that's going to be a huge
well, haven't they said they have an extra map that they haven't really
It
been?
could be like I swear, me and Clifford know we heard it somewhere, but we don't. We couldn't find it.
Couldn't find the source for it
to be like, this is concrete. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but if I were to hedge bets, I would think that would be the most epic case, because that would be the prime deal, that the prime ignition that they would need to start the multi-crew build upon, because that would actually incorporate ships
People.
FPS and a big,
Mhm.
station type, structure that you could land on.
I have a
And-
counter argument for that. I think it'll probably be the Idris thing because I know they're working hard on getting the Idris and those other ships ready. And the reason I say that is because they probably want to keep Shubin because we know that we start at Shubin for Squadron 42. They want to use that and keep that as a super that's pretty and the Idris is a big deal, but people keep bugging them to see the Idris and everything as well. So I think we'll probably see the Idris before we see Shubin.
Yeah, and you have a good point there because it would be more a fully fledged, simpler compared to the Shubin mine station asset to be fleshed out inside and out because it's going to be heavily used in Squadron 42 in their missions, from what they said.
I'm just looking forward. I know Trendane's with me. I just want to spaceship things from back and forth, man. I'm waiting for that stuff.
That
Are you with me?
gangsta lean. That gangsta lean.
Because everything they're bringing in, it's just not that yet. And I'm just like, come on. Where are you?
Well, even if they give y'all the asset of when the Shubin mining station come out, there's going to be asteroids out there. I don't see why not. You can land on there and start mining with the bots and stuff and transport their ore to the station and back and forth.
Yeah.
That would at least give y'all something to haul and something to start trying out.
Yeah. I think that's something everybody's looking forward to as well.
Well, the problem is that it would be just like when Free Flight first came out. And when they first put in Arena Commander, you had the Vandal waves, you had Free Flight. Those were pretty much your things that you could do. I went in, I did Free Flight for about 15 minutes, turned it off, and I never went back again until like 2 days ago when I did the tutorial mission. Flying from here to there in a ship, which was a sphere that big, does me no good, really.
Yeah.
I mean, all it does is make me want to do more. And the fact that I can't yet is very frustrating to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I went to Elite. And it gives me something to do. Yes, I'm still hauling from point A to point B, and at that point there was only 5 systems available in Elite because it was still in beta. But I could go to a different system. I could go to a different star system, pick up, and we could do the whole commodity circle. And it was just the same repetitive thing. But it wasn't
didn't matter, yeah.
It wasn't just flying from this rock to this station.
16
and back.
kilometers, yeah. I feel it's like they have like a big bowl of Skittles sitting right there, and they're like, "You're allowed to have one."
Yes.
There you go. Enjoy your 16 kilometer by 16 kilometer Skittles. We have this whole bowl full of hundreds of them, but you cannot have this. Oh, here's another one with racing. There you go.
Yeah.
But even then with the social what Trendane's iterate, and what Elite doesn't have, which I can't wait for starts, is like, yeah, you can go from point A to point B in Elite, but you're just seeing still the same old like Eve numbers on the screen, where in Star Citizen you can literally pack your own items in this big carrier and then load it out, and I can't wait to I know they said they're going to have automatic loading bots that you can use if you don't want to load, but me, I'm going to be one of those people. I want to take every individual piece, put it in cargo, load it myself, orient it myself, because that's a whole mini game to me of fun.
I was going to say, somebody get Clifford a Hully and let him do that for days.
It's going to take him 24 hours. 24-hour stream.
Here's your space potatoes. Good luck.
Or he's going to wind up shipping like just mountains of Miku, memorabilia.
Miku,
and each one he's just going to stop and he's going to put it in. And grab it, and it's going to take him even longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at this one. This one has a little variance on it. They're all like, there's little variances on him, so he needs to look at everyone.
No, her tie is backwards. No. Now, before we move on, I do want to say that it sounds like I'm bitching about not being able to do anything, and that I don't like. I love. I mean, between the two, Elite and Star Citizen, I don't even know how to make a freaking heart. I'm so in love. Boom, my heart has exploded. Star Citizen is where I want to be. That's what I want to do. It just doesn't have anything for me right now. And I recognize that fact. I recognize that it's not done yet. But that is where my passion lies. It's like both games. I wanted to do voice acting in both games. Elite, very early on, I realized, that is never going to happen. Okay, fine. So there's still hope with Star Citizen. And even if they told me today, sorry, no, you're never going to do any voice acting in this game, I would still be like, no problem. Keep going. I still want to play it. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people feel the same as you, Trendane. Like, even though I like combat and I like racing and stuff, I'm looking forward to just sitting in a ship with my friends and just doing like playing a game of cards with grabby hands or listening to the like Starcasts on the space radio or whatever while we're like rocketing through space and running around our ship and like checking on systems and doing all this stuff. That's what initially brought me into the game. It wasn't, oh, you know, I get to shoot down other players and I can be a pirate and stuff. That wasn't like the fact that we can have this ship that's flying through space and dodging asteroids, and inside we can be doing our own thing and chilling in a hot tub in a Phoenix, or checking on systems in a Carrack, or plotting navigation and like talking to the other players on that ship and organizing that together and doing that in either a small or large group, depending on how many people you're playing with. Like, those are the kind of things that I'm looking forward to. Seeing the different systems, seeing those variants that each system is handcrafted, right? And all of this other stuff where everything doesn't look the same. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to that, and that's myself included. And that's probably why we're not seeing the numbers we're seeing in Arena Commander right now, is because people are waiting for that.
Yep, they did that. They did that post recently on the forums where 80% of the people are looking forward to something that is non-combat related. So it's like, and you know, I know like we preface, like me and Saurus, like I'm not interested in pirating at all. I'm interested in all the non-combat things. That's what I am super excited about. And I think a lot of people are with me. I fell in love with this game when I saw the economy trailer video. That's when I fell in love with this game. I was like, this looks cool. I loved Chris Roberts games. I played Wing Commander all the time. But, and then I saw the economy trailer, and then my wallet just, all the money came out of it.
So,
you know what I mean?
So economy for Twerk. Trendane, you're looking for like the space trucking and exploration.
More exploration than space.
More of the exploration. And then Clifford, what's not in the game right now that you're looking forward to the most? What is the one aspect of the game? If you had to choose one,
God damn it! Don't make it.
Okay. While you think about that, mine
like
is going to be exploring like derelict ships and exploring like things that like maybe you see this space station that's in an asteroid field that nobody's been to before, or whatever, but there could be like aliens in it or whatever. I'm looking forward to those experiences where it feels like we're in alien isolation, or it feels like we're in dead space and stuff like that. The almost horror-like aspects of going into that type of exploration specifically is what I'm looking forward to the most for me.
You have an answer yet, Clifford?
God, no.
Okay. Well, since since we touched on Elite moments ago, and we were just talking about that they had, you know, the forum post where 80% of the people were looking at not doing anything combat related. It reminded me that one of the most recent updates on sorry, just in the, I'm finally seeing the stream with you know, the bouncing. Yeah. Anyway, Elite had an update, you know, dev update thing that went out today where it said that pretty soon they're going to be going to Xbox probably. And my first thought was, that is the first guarantee that I will never click open play ever, because as soon as you open it up to Xbox, every sumbitch out there who wants to get in there and just wreck people's days, that's where they're going in. And I'm like, nope.
Those voice comms though. Those voice comms.
Nope. Never playing an open play.
I wrecked your mom. What, mate? It's like, oh shit, here we go.
Thanks,
but
hey, FPS too.
I think the most thing that I'm looking forward to, I guess, would be in line with like Domo and stuff, and like Twerk, would be the trucking, because of the fact that the other two that would be the same, like as second, would be the mining and the exploration, because I know I could do more trucking more constantly on a regular basis, really quicker. The exploration takes more time, which sometimes I don't have because of my life, and so and also mining, you know. But you know, to me, the space trucking and the economy aspect will be the quickest day-to-day thing for me. You know,
not if you're loading every little Miko in your container.
or
But,
or,
like,
or
it
pug
was-
bobbleheads.
It was totally okay for you because I know this is probably what your real answer was, that I want to do a little bit of everything every day.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Like that's something that people want to do.
We
What?
have
What?
20 minutes left on the giveaway, and it's this is our
It's
Q&A.
perfect theme music for this.
Domo's playing.
This is like Domo's the music to get you to stop talking. That's why I
Yeah.
stopped playing it, because that's exactly what
It was
that
like
is.
an award show.
Well, before
it's Q&A time.
okay, yeah, when we go to Q&A time though, I did want to show people this. Okay, on Source's stream. Okay, I just want to show you. I'm not lying. I have 2 Connies here. Both of them are signed. This one's going to somebody who can win this son of a gun. That is going to be one of the giveaways there.
Today.
Yeah, and it has the card that's signed by him. Also, these that were at PAX South by Southwest, these are actual coasters.
Nice.
Those will go with it. The actual hologram cards that change will go with it. And also, one of the gray men will actually go with it. So that's a big deal. That's, I think,
Yes,
one of
it
the
is.
Source's biggest, like, actual physical goods that he will give away today. So
Yeah. That
better
is
be
definitely the biggest physical good
be
for
there
sure.
or
Wow.
be square, because you never know when he's going to do it. That's all I
Could
gotta
be
say.
Whenever.
It could
could
be
be
in the middle of the night. It could be like early in the morning, like 6 a.m. when we're all like, ugh, bags and rice.
So, Trendane, would you like to do the honors for the Q&A?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, Q&A time.
Oh, I
And
can't do
once
it like
again,
Domo.
if
What do
anybody
you mean
has...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, you'd like to get them in, whether they be questions about Star Citizen or for one of us individually or for all of us, like how many ships do we think Clifford owns now? Just exclamation point question in chat and fill out that little form, and we will make sure to ask it.
I need to bring up my ships if they
Hey.
ask me.
Say 96.
Yeah.
It's my guess is
96?
96.
I'm going to say
Well,
just under 100.
It got reduced because remember I melted my
reduced?
A's. Yeah, I melted my A's.
Oh, you melted your A's already.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. To wait, so it's at 88 right now.
Hey, that means you get to time travel now.
Yeah.
It was 96, but it went down to 88 because.
Ah, you're so close.
Well, I mean, when I look at it, I mean, I just let's see here. What's my sum total? Because I'm going to bring all those ships that I got and melted out of melting eventually. Was it?
It's going to be
Yeah.
over 100 soon.
Goodness.
Yes. Yeah, because I got like 40 ships that are melted. That I'm going to bring those back out because I want to resell those later in the PU.
120 plus all the those new ships that you're going to get.
Yeah, I can't wait for this new ships.
Yeah.
It will be epic.
Oh, lordy.
I love my ships.
Yes, apparently. It's amazing there's any fluids left in your body. And from Drescher86, we have, does Clifford get special access with new ships that are on sale? Special access.
No, I'm
No.
treated equally like everyone else.
Uh-huh. From Drescher86, who's apparently competing with Cyberwolf today. Are you concerned with the cargo crate being used outside on the hull series? Does that make it easier for pirates to steal it? Of course it does.
Mm,
I know, talk to the pirate. He
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the downsides of being able to haul that stuff, but at the same time, I mean, they have weapons and you still have to get them away from it. It's not
Yeah.
like they're
No,
just like floating around in space and I can be like,
I hate-
ooh, piece of candy, just pulling apples off a tree. Maybe
well,
it is.
I hate that consensus that it's going to be easy. It's not. It's just
Not.
like people think it's
No.
going to be easy to take down an Idris. It's talking to Chris, like personally talking to Chris. Each ship is going to have powerful generators, and not to mention we don't even know what kind of upgrades to the generators you can
Yep.
get for that ship. And you know, because like people make comments, oh, you can just snap off the stem and the deals will float away. It's not going to be easy as
Yeah.
and also people who are hauling those ships, are going to have the money obviously to load it out completely because it's going to take a lot of money for the bigger ones. 2 is definitely going to have the money to spend on having a squadron to fly with you to protect the goods because they are going to want a cut of the profit. Because if you have a hull C, D, and E hauling a bunch of this, they're going to want in on the action. So,
Yeah.
you know, and 3, like I said, you don't even know what's going to be available for us to tweak these ships with. You know, whether it's computer, technology, weaponry, shield generation, you know, who knows?
They said in the whole Q&A post that they're going to be very powerfully shielded, as well as the actual cargo containers being like
mag locked together.
Yeah, mag locked, and they're gonna you have the ability to put armor on them, so if they do get through your shields, they're not going to blow up your cargo. But
yeah, just because they're not offensive doesn't mean they won't be extremely defensive.
yes, so I'm not worried.
No concerns here.
From
No.
Drescher86.
Oh.
With the current minimum requirements for the game, do you fear that the requirements will be so high when it comes out that it will limit a lot of potential players?
I hope to God, yes. I want it to be. I want. No, I'm
That's
just
messed up.
But no, the reason why I say that, not to push people away, but I just wanted to push the boundaries like he promised. I really wanted to really push it. But
Well,
I think it's going to have a bunch of sliders and everything, so I don't think anybody's going to be.
That's the thing, is we don't have any optimization yet. Our settings are next to nothing, right? All of that stuff right now is nothing. We don't, like, there's so much stuff to be implemented. That's where beta comes in, and that's normally in a normal development cycle. Beta would bring in different controllers. It would bring in optimizations. It would bring in better loading times, fixing bugs, and just like optimizations overall for it to run on lower machines. That being said, we are starting to see that some of it earlier because of how public and open this game is, and they want people to be able to play that. So that's why we have the controller options. That's why we have things like them reducing the load times now, whereas, you know, that's not important. Normally alpha is for a feature, like implementing more features, not fixing things and making sure everything runs buttery smooth and looks good and runs on laptops and all that other stuff. That being said, I'm sure you'll be able to put it down to potato quality and play it on a lesser machine than what Clifford is running or whatever.
And it's not even optimized. Yeah, it's not even optimized yet either. So
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is it's not optimized at all, really, when you get down to the brass tacks of it, and it will get optimized, and we will see those options come in, but you know. Don't expect those to be in like anytime soon. If they are, then great, but I don't expect it to be.
And also, this is one of the reasons why I know that I have been saying it, and Saurus, I know you've been saying it as well, and Domo has been saying it for over a year now. You know, don't worry about upgrading your machine now.
No.
For starters, to just save your money.
Unless your computer is on fire and you need you need it to check your Facebook and play other games and stuff, don't worry. Like I remember reading somebody's post of like, oh, I bought this just for Star Citizen and stuff, and it was like, what do you do? Like, why? Like, even if all the components you have are perfect for running it at ultra, at 4K, whatever, buying it when the actual game comes out will be a fraction of the cost compared to how much it is right now. For example, my computer that I built just before I started streaming is almost, $3,000-$4,000. Could probably pick it up for $1,200 right now, and that was just a year ago, right? So
yeah, my 780 Ti was like $700. It's now $350.
Yeah,
on
that's
sale.
What, and that's like my two 680s. I mean, I remember spending $1,400 on those two, and I haven't upgraded because really. I'm waiting for next year to actually upgrade my graphics cards because that's when that's when the new NVIDIA chip with the new VR RAMs coming out, and then plus also DirectX 12 once it gets implemented for the game itself.
Oh,
that will add so much more streamlined to a lot of people wanting to play these games. It'll add more fidelity to their cards, put it that way. But I don't want people to get the misconception that which many people have, DirectX 12 will not give you this magical increase to everything right when it comes out of the gate because the games have to be programmed
optimized for it.
Optimized for it. Yeah.
Just heads up, 10 minutes left on the giveaway. 10 minutes. T-minus.
From Yoko. Were we done with that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, good. From Yoko Rose. This one I think also goes to probably Stillig or Zealous, one of the two foxes in Fuzzball, blah, 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 who asked about this, mentioned it in Skype chat, separate thing, blah. How many MISC Reliant will the cast be buying next week when it is on sale?
How much were they
At least-
each?
50.
50.
What does it matter? It doesn't matter, Clifford. You're going to buy it.
He's got to bust out a
He's got
calculator.
a calculator.
He's got a
I
calculator to
gotta
figure this
do a
out.
calculator real quick
I'm
because I
gonna
gotta
be
find
picking
out.
up 5 to give away, and I'm gonna be picking up 1 for myself to replace the Hull B, because I'm gonna give the Hull B away today. So instead of the Hull B, because I want all of my ships is just a thing. I don't want to get in the conversation, but all of my Drake ships that I start with, I want to have LTI. I don't have a Cutlass Black, so I'm gonna be picking up Reliant to cross chassis. But I'll be giving 5 away of them. So I'm gonna
One
pick
for
those.
myself. I'm not sure how many for giveaways, but probably 3, 4, same thing.
Also, half alien ship.
Yes.
Clifford's still doing maths.
Well, no, I'm
You'd
I'm
think
trying
you'd
to
be
think.
faster at this being
Well,
an
no, I'm
engineer and everything.
I'm trying to think of variants and stuff that I want to. I'm thinking at least because this is a one-time deal. This is the last I think mini ship that you're going to be able to buy. That
Vanguard
costs
variants too.
Drake Dragonflight.
probably 15 to 20 15 to 20 of them, probably $1,000 worth.
So nuts.
Oh my god.
But
And
it's
I don't
awesome.
know if, obviously Domo can hear us. Domo, just type in chat if you're going to be getting any of those. Because I'm sure your viewers would
Zero.
like to know. Zero. There you
I
go.
do want one of each starter. I think there's something.
Domo only has
for
one
that.
ship. For the
That's
record.
awesome.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get one of
It's
them
a Hull
for
series,
myself.
right?
Yeah. No, wait. No.
I'm
This
just-
ship is not. The Reliant's not a
In case
whole
the wife's
series.
watching.
It's a ship on its own. The Reliant is not a
The
whole
Reliant-
series.
No.
Domo's one ship is a hull.
Oh,
is what
oh,
No,
I
that's
okay.
the joke. That's
No?
a joke.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways. Next.
From Wickstrom, this will be very short. Trendane, will you be the new voice of Chun-Li? No. From Cyberwolf74, the Starfarer is going to have both remote and manual EVA refueling. Which type of system would you prefer to use?
I have one.
I have.
Go ahead.
That wasn't the question.
No, I was gonna. Cause, hey, the guys that have them, they want to answer. But go
EVA.
ahead, Cliff.
EVA.
Yeah, EVA for sure. All the heart, like the manual, like exciting Chris
Yeah.
Robertsy things that he puts in, like that's what I want to do.
I mean, and it just makes the
For
game more
everything.
difficult. Like,
Yeah.
not like difficult as in like, oh, this is like super hard, but it's like, oh, you have to think about the processes that you need to do, and there's tactics behind them, and that's what I'm looking forward to as well. So I would say the EVA.
See, I just picture some guy coming scooting out in his suit, and he puts a thing in there, and he comes up and he maglocks to the hood and just starts wiping the windshield.
Like the windshield,
Oh
yeah.
man, he's trying to
Yeah.
wipe the inside of crap. He
And he's
takes
just
off his helmet
smearing-
and yeah,
It's just smearing the windshield, not really cleaning it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. And then you have to tip him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, from Gorlock 2944. How many I misread this as Lando refugees. How many Lando effigies must I burn to see a picture of the Archimedes?
Huh?
My answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah.
All of them.
Burn them.
Mm.
From Cyberwolf74. This week's art. It's all capitals. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you have to say it like that.
Was of a doorway/hallway in Nyx. What did you think? What did you all think? Is it too small or just right? I notice he doesn't list too large. It's 3
Ladies.
bears. 3 bears, man. 3 of them. Too big, too small. Just
Let me look at it again. But
What is
I
what
think
is this
just
ship,
right.
sorry? I missed what this ship was.
It's the art sneak peek of the doorways in
Nyx.
Nyx.
Are they? Well, actually, the source question of the door would be this: Ryan, is it gritty enough for you? Does it seem piratey enough, like type
It
door?
looked like an asteroid. It looked like it was like an asteroid base, kind of, right?
Yeah.
From what I remember, I liked it. It reminds me of VFG. I'm sure VFG probably made it. Yeah. So from what we've obviously, it's a very small portion of what the Nyx entirety will hopefully be, but yeah, it looked cool.
What do you think, Trent? Because I know you do the Galactic Guides. I know you've read about Nyx, and so have I. It's not really a pirate base. It
Not
is,
really.
but it isn't.
No,
Well,
So-
Nyx is
like
a
an
system.
outlaw
Yeah.
area.
Nyx is a system. What is it? What is the name of the
It's the
Delamar? Something like that?
I think it was Delamar, yeah.
That they land on. So
Mhm.
it's like, I think it looks appropriate.
Well, it looks appropriate, but if this is a part of the old, like the old mining station, because this door could go anywhere in another, because Nyx,
They're
Probably
going to
has another-
procedurally use this stuff.
yeah, I think I would add a little bit more grittiness to it. Of course, this ain't the final finish. This is just
No, it's
like
very
the basics. Yeah, add in all the grittiness and all that stuff, and maybe a couple sparks here and there. I think it'll work. But as
Well,
far
yeah,
as the functionality of it, looks great.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Clifford, because like if you go by the kind of story that we've read about it, it's
Run
kind of
down,
out
it's,
there. The
yeah.
UEE doesn't really consider it a threat. It's on the outskirts of the UEE, so it's not going to be that
It's
wealth
basically
of
ungoverned. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
Wild West out there.
Mhm.
and like it was basically made by like Messer, like
Yes.
people against them, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's just kind of, I expect it to be kind of run down and just thrown together.
Now, with regard to it not looking quite done, I mean that's true. If you look at the thing, you can see that there's like when you're pulling back from one of the doors, there's like the overhead light and the red, spinny
Yeah.
light on the side, and I don't see any other light sources. That is incredibly well lit for having no other light sources. That is not what it's
Yeah.
going to look like when it's done. There's probably going to be boxes and
Mhm.
pieces of plate metal all over the place because the place is run down. I mean, it is a sty.
Yeah.
This is pristine by comparison. And once they get through distressing everything, putting all the necessary shadows in there, I mean, in that one, which you guys are.
Well, I mean, look at Gold Horizon, right?
Right.
The same idea. Now,
Much the same.
to sort of go, because this is Starcast, whatever, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent while we are on lighting. That is something like seeing the strobe lights and stuff that we haven't seen on the ships, because we know that they're doing the lighting on the ships and stuff. Seeing the lighting actually get like the final pass-throughs and stuff like that, which we haven't seen yet, come in not only like the hangars and the new environments and stuff. That adds a lot to the experience of what that is. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's just something else that is just going to add that extra little bit. And it was something that we saw when they showed us the Gold Horizon a little bit. Was how well the lighting affects the environment and the atmosphere of that level. And we're going to see that throughout everything, right? So when we look at something like ArcCorp or Terra or whatever, it's going to be maybe not ArcCorp is like more industrialized and maybe smoggier or whatever, but something like Terra is going to be very bright. I feel like it's going to be bright, like blue skies, like whatever. And then you get somewhere like Spider that's going to be really dark, and you're going to have, smoke and just, all this stuff. Things like the red spinny light and stuff. If that's the only thing that's lighting up the room, like that's going to be really cool stuff to see. And that brings in that atmosphere that I was talking about with like Alien Isolation or whatever, where it has that creepy vibe and stuff to it.
1 minute left for the giveaway. People.
Thank you. Exclamation point, yar. Twitch does
Yar.
not sponsor or endorse any of these giveaways.
Except those.
From how long was it until the thing?
1
minute.
minute.
Oh well, then we probably don't have enough time to answer this.
Come on.
Smogfire asks, is it still necessary to modify settings in Arena Commander from the command line or with a config file? Is there a good site to get a simple tutorial that I should change settings that are not in the URL?
I have it on my forums.
One.
Oh, did we?
Is it over?
Did we draw it?
Yeah, I think it draw Arg Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Arg Scott, nice.
I think he has to do. Does he have to do exclamation claim or
I think he has to claim it, yeah.
do you have to claim it? Domo. Yeah. Exclamation mark claim. Do exclamation mark claim to claim it, dude. You got 1 minute.
Okay, so here, I'll put this in chat. This is a link to my forums where I set up a user. Oh, it timed me out.
Correct.
Wrecked. I don't know if somebody's in my
Here,
channel as well.
Copy and paste it here in Skype, and I'll paste it in there.
Okay. So that there will explain how to make a user folder or a user file, and just make a copy of that, because every time you re-download a new patch, it'll overwrite that. I think.
Did it redraw?
Yes, it did. Modus Moron, and he claims
Modus.
it.
Oh yeah,
Modus.
Modus. We know Modus.
Oh, okay.
Did he claim? He claimed it.
He did it.
Let's
He
do
did claim
this
it. Yes.
while we're
You claimed
here.
it already? Congrats.
Damn, he's quick on that draw.
Yes,
Modus
he
like,
was.
it's mine. Mine. My Cutlass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Geek Domo. Okay. Yeah, just send me a Twitch. You know what to do, Modus. Just send me a Twitch message with your RSI deals, and I'll gift it to you, bud.
From Cyberwolf74, in Hyper Vanguard Force 4, we get to see a caterpillar with a crap ton of turrets and an EA section. Oh, on
Beams.
On what? What?
Laser beams. It had laser beams too. I know you haven't hit it yet. It had laser beams.
4. We get to see a crap ton of turrets on. I presume he means each section.
Yeah.
Is this a hint of how modular the real caterpillar will be in game?
Probably.
Yeah, and your Redeemer is going to die in one hit as well.
Yeah.
They were
Right?
trying
And
to-
Cutlasses are next to invincible when you have more than 2 of them. Good luck.
That was funny.
Yeah.
They were trying to flame you for a minute there in chat, Source.
Yeah. I see that. They tried.
But y'all
They tried
failed.
and
He was
failed.
just renewing, bitches.
They tried and failed. They tried and died.
Nothing can hurt Source.
From Cyberwolf74, with the release of patch 1.1.3, are we one step closer to FPS? Of course we are. Sorry. Do you
Every
feel
day.
Every day we're one step.
day? We are getting the FPS by the end of the month or even later, or maybe a PTU release as soon as next week.
No.
Or as
No
soon
chance.
as 3 months from now, or as soon as 2 years from now, or as soon as any time in the future. We have no idea. We don't work for CIG.
This is
We don't work
May-
for them, but there's a reason the post came out. It's
I'm
to
sorry.
calm your tits for a little bit.
I'm still guessing.
What is that picture doing?
Domo's steampunking it. I'm thinking though it's going to probably be at the mid or end of April. That's my best guesstimation.
I liked Travis's answer on Reverse the Verse.
Yep.
Sooner than you think, but not as soon as you'd like.
Yeah. They put it out there to say, like, hey, we've still got a lot to go, and it's going to take us a little while, but this is the cool stuff that's coming, and just be patient.
Welcome to game development, people. This is exactly what it's like to work at a game that, you know, you're sitting there, you're bound by an NDA. You know the state, the actual state that the game is in. You know which parts work and which ones don't, and how they all fit together. And you have the context of the entire thing, and you can't freaking tell anybody. And all you can do is say,
It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. But just,
You're going to love it.
and then
But that's all you can get.
And then some executive decides, hey, this is boring, change it all. They fire your entire team, and then they restart
Here's
everything.
another
And they
Skittle.
screw. Sorry, that's, never mind.
Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles. From Cyberwolf74 in HVF 4. I knew it was Hyper Vanguard. Anyway, when you beat it, oh my God, you can beat it. They say you get some kind of dashboard / cockpit flare item. I don't recall that. Is this a real item we will get, or just something the game says in fiction style?
No, you get a forum
Forum badge.
badge. Yeah. So if you beat it in normal, you get the Predator badge. If you go back and get to get Hyper Pink mode, you have to beat each level and get all 3 badges. Now you can do each badge separately, or you can get all 3 badges at the same time, which is 100% hull, all the enemy ships destroyed, and the other one is just beating the level, I'm pretty sure. So once you have all those 3 of those, then you unlock Hyperpink mode, and you just have to beat it. You don't have to get those badges again. The badges are just bragging points in that. And once you've beaten all 3 of those and unlocked Hyperpink for all 3 of those and beaten all 3 Hyperpink, then you can get the Apex Predator badge.
Then you become a special snowflake.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There seems to be a great deal of discussion of boobs in the channel, which is fitting for this next question, which comes from Wickstrom, which says, bounce boob physics plus grabby hands equals best damn sex sim ever.
Especially, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that armor post that was on Reddit. Boob plates.
Sure.
We'll just leave it at that. Anyways.
Well, also, wait. If there's going to be like that,
Or we won't.
Well, what about Trendane? You know, what about jiggly butt physics? And you want to grab somebody's ass?
Not everyone's a boob man.
Yeah, somebody's an ass man.
Yeah.
I am a bit of an ass man, but by that same reckoning, you know, if you're going to have a slider for making boobs bigger and smaller, much like in Black Desert apparently, then I want a slider that goes from, you know, coin purse to duffel bag, you know, for the slider in the front. And so, anyway.
Wow.
I heard coin purse and I knew right where we were going.
It's a great analogy. I never heard that before.
Wow.
That's why we love Trendane. He's a gem.
I'm a what?
You're a gem.
A gem. Yes. Showtime synergy. From Drescher86, do you think... Okay, nobody's going to... Okay, fine. Do you think we will only be able to land in hangars or in the Precision Universe, or will we be able to land anywhere depending upon the ship size?
I can answer some of this. I mean, I know you can land anywhere. You know, they're going to have they've shown it when they were doing Moon Collider, was showing the AI experience. They showed the landing platforms, that there's going to be designated landing platforms and bigger hangars, smaller hangars that you can land in. Now, as far as like landing anywhere, that will probably come later with the procedurally generated planets, to where you could just fly into the zone and then find you a spot to land.
Yeah, because we do know.
Asteroids.
Yeah, like we do know that, like when you go to land on a planet, it makes a little cutscene. So it's not like a manual planet landing, right? The only manual landings that I know of would be potentially in like asteroid hangars, like we can now, and then or like we could, and then on other ships.
Yeah,
So
any of those platforms that we see in space.
yeah,
But even those can be automated.
Yeah, I was going to say in the tutorial, you know, that you have the option of the manual or the automatic landing, and I would see no reason that you couldn't do the same thing. That if you went to, you know, a planet that had a designated landing area, and you could tell your ship, okay, fine, I want to land there, and you can either take it in manually and land, or you can hit the button and get the, you know, it'll kind of do the EDL thing, but internally in and of itself, because you don't have. I mean, it's got, you know, buttes and cliff sides and whatnot, and maybe trees and shit that you might have to avoid, but you don't have traffic of other ships flying through. When you go to ArcCorp, they're gonna be like, no, you want to land here, you give us control. We know where everything's going because we're controlling it all. Like hand over control or go to the next planet.
Yep.
Now this, I want to ask you something before I forget. I meant to ask you this earlier. You said you had just recently jumped on and tried the tutorial mode. Yes. What were your thoughts on that?
I could not, when I went with one of the preset for the X52, pitch and yaw were reversed, or yeah, I think the X and Y were reversed. So, and I knew going into it, I knew that they had said that strafing, there was no throttle control really. It was just wham straight into the roof of the cavern. And I was actually watching Bad News Baron playing it today, and he did exactly the same thing, just boom straight into the roof. I was like, it's not just me, you know. But
it's all of us.
He went through and he remapped everything before he even went in, and I was like, oh no, because, you know, it's got all the different, you know, things that pop up and say, okay, you need to do this. I'm like, oh my god, he unmapped everything.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do the strafe over to the thing because he unmapped it all. There's no key.
Yeah, and there was
corresponding
some
anymore.
new things in there. Even if you're used to playing it every day or whatever, even for me, when I first jumped into it, it was like, what is this? What? Okay. I've never
Freelook?
really had to
like
do
I never
this
used
before.
Freelook. Yeah.
Yeah. I remapped that, and it's like, there was a few things that I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit different.
It was really super sensitive. I mean, just the slightest movement to the stick, and I was going 90 degrees the wrong way. There was I mean, I just need to adjust the sensitivity, and that is no problem. It's like I said with Elite, and Star Citizen, they're exactly the same way. They're just different control schemes. I just need to learn to fly. Once I got out of the hangar, it was, aside from the sensitivity issue, it was fun.
Yeah.
And once I inverted the controls to where it felt right, it was more intuitive. It was no problem. It was too sensitive, but I could adjust that. Not a problem. But again, I recognize that this is still very, very alpha. Everything's going to change. So, I got frustrated because I was like, what? But I understood why it wasn't working yet. So my housemate came in. He's like, man, I'm hearing a lot of cussing in here. What the hell is going on? I was like, was I cussing out loud? Oh my God. Okay. Well, shit. So he stood behind me and watched while I was doing the thing. He was like, because I just got him into Elite. And so he was like, that's much easier. I said, yes, of course it's easier in Elite. It's a very different kind of mechanic. But I enjoyed it. I mean, some parts didn't make a lot of sense. The training drones took a lot longer to kill than the Vandal did when they showed up. That seemed very wrong to me.
They were like invincible. I know.
I'm sure it'll be very different when the game comes out. I'm sure it'll be much harder to kill the Vandal. But
what did you think about the atmosphere of it? And then we'll move on to our questions. But did it remind you of anything?
I presume you're going for the Top Gun thing. And no. It didn't really remind me of Top Gun at all. I did hear the music, but it didn't read as Top Gun to me. Granted, it's been a long time since I've watched it. That fantasy has long since. Oh, Val Kilmer. Sorry. Seeing him as Batman just ruined it all for me. Anyway, actually it was overall the atmosphere. I loved Gilly. Gilly was awesome. I absolutely love that character. He's very, very cool. He needs to stop calling me rookie, or I'm gonna slap that bitch's face off. I swear to God. The fact that he calls me Look, he's like, move it, Rook. I'm like, I'm a queen, not a rook. Thank you so much. Piss off. Like, go get in my ship. And but really, really awesome. I love the fact that they still had Wingman's voice in there when he requests permission to take off. Like, permission to launch. Great. I was like, that's Wingman.
Yeah.
I was really
hopefully forever.
Yeah, hopefully. It was good. I got a much stronger sense of what it's going to be like within the game when it comes out. I mean, for me, it's been kind of amorphous thus far. But going into the tutorial and just taking off and slamming into the ceiling, but we'll go with that, whatever. And then strafing over and moving up. And the fact that they said, don't center your ship. Or center your ship, not yourself. Center your ship on the exit door, because most people don't think about the fact that the cockpit is not in the middle of the ship. And I'm like,
you are not the center of the universe.
It's like when people are driving down the street and they center themselves in the lane, and they're not in the center of the damn car. You should be off to the never mind.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
But I got a very much stronger sense of what the game is going to feel like, and it kind of started welling up in me, and I was like, I need this to be done.
Here's another Skittle.
Thank you so much, you bastards.
Yeah.
The first time you leave the hangar and you see like space come out, that's when it did it for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm going to post this in chat. They just put up a new post: test drive the starter ships. So
being
everybody.
in the oh my God, what the hell? Being in the hangar, getting ready to head out, reminded me of Saurus when you got one of your ships in there.
Yep.
And and there was like 6 or 7 other people, and you're all just blam, just all over the place. That's what this feels like. Oh God.
Yeah. You can only fit so many ships inside of a hangar.
Yes.
And if you try to fit more than that, it's a lot of power.
People
Yep.
die.
Put it in that small area. Moving on.
Yes, moving on from Magpie. Will they? Sorry, not the. Will they group different controls together? So mouse and keyboard versus mouse and keyboard and controller versus controller versus controller, etc. Okay, I think I see what he means.
Nope.
No, they won't.
No.
They will group. They will like do group matching for people of relative skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not people who are using controllers versus people who are playing with controllers.
Or if it's something you're looking for, or if somebody's playing on PS3 and somebody else is playing on Xbox 360, they'll put those people on separate. Kappa? No, I'm just kidding. This isn't going to
That's not going to happen.
Oh shit! I'm getting out of here right now.
What's exciting is a lot of those changes for the matchmaking are coming in when FPS drops. So lots of changes to that and to the launcher, like the whole patching system. So that's going to be great.
That's where a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, do you mean I don't have to download the whole thing
Whole
again?"
game again? 100 gigs?
It's
Nope.
still going to be huge when it comes
It
out.
will be. It will still be.
Yeah.
I bought a
Patching
new
will be
56
nice.
drive for it.
Delicious.
Just for Star Citizen. Because if you think like not only even now, if you just think Star Citizen and the PTU, that's two that are going to be really big. Maybe they can kind of combine that later on down the road. But then if you look into the future a little bit, we know that modding is going to be a thing. We know that there's going to be private servers and stuff like that. So that's going to take up a whole other chunk of space as well. So
what's bad about this is that when Star Citizen, the full game iteration comes out, I will probably buy one of those SSD actual slot cards that go in, and that's just going to be strictly Star Citizen's home. Is that right there?
That's a good idea.
So it's like instant BAM access. Yeah, that's nothing but Star Citizen will go on that drive. Nothing but Star Citizen.
From Demistory. Oh, Dime Store, whatever. I'm curious if they'll model barrel heat, warping, ammo cook-off, etc. FPS games tend to be very lax on that.
They said that they're not going to be able to. I believe the last time we heard from them on this, but they are going to introduce. There will be some randomness within the spray to simulate that, but they won't be able to simulate the actual barrel warping and stuff exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys know what I'm talking about when they were talking about this?
No, I know the spray will be random, but I've never heard of I'm not into FPS games or that, so I don't know what cooking and barrel warping actually is.
Yeah, so it's just basically when you're obviously you know how your weapons overheat on your ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in FPS. Your weapons heat up and it starts to warp the barrel because the barrel is only so big. It expands and contracts and whatever, and then you lose your accuracy over time.
Okay.
So especially with energy weapons, you would think that would have some sort of divergence in it, but I don't think that they're accurately modeling that down to specific how the rifle barrels are gonna warp. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard is they're just gonna add they still want it so you know where you're pointing the muzzle of the gun, that's where the bullets are going, but there is going to be some divergence for some as time goes on, as it heats up and stuff like that.
Okay.
From Gorlock 2944, do you think that the Star Citizen controller will have FPS movement in mind, or look like any of my half-assed monstrosity? And then there's a link to something. I don't know.
Can I look at this link? Yes.
Yes, I give you permission.
I'm going to look at it. I'm
nervous.
nervous.
And now your computer is infected with malware. And
Oh my goodness. I don't think it'll look anything like that. No. Because it's going to be like a HOTAS setup. So it's not going to be anything like that. So answer is no.
All right. Ask and answer.
I think it's based on ships, not on FPS.
Gotcha.
But there might be hats.
You look confused, Trendane.
Sorry, I'm reading Black Sue's question to me in chat, and I'm trying to figure out what he's asking. the latter half seems to be something to do with Dune, about the Harkonnen versus Atreides with the Bene Gesserits, and yeah, I don't.
All right.
I don't know what you're talking about, Black. So I may revisit that in a bit, but right now I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, moving on. From James Cutts, there was a poll and discussion on the forums for LTI, which is apparently not a big deal, according to Mr. Ben Lesnick. For all the ships purchased before release, what would your thoughts be on this? Seems like it would resolve a lot of issues that could arise once the game is released. I am inclined to agree with Ben. It is nowhere near as big of a deal as people are making about it.
No, I think the hull, because it's just hull insurance, it's not upgrade insurance, it's not cargo insurance. Those are the insurances that are going to be A, more expensive, and B, a million times more important. Hulls, I don't think it's going to be hard to acquire a hull of a ship. I don't think it's going to be overly expensive to buy this, because you're going to need these things, and these things are fairly common throughout the universe. What's going to be expensive is getting those shields, those engines, those thrusters, those weapons, not only tuned properly, but those high-end ones that are going to be really expensive, and then insuring those to get those back, because you're going to be, I guarantee you're going to be putting more into weapons than you will into your hull.
Yeah.
And
and then your cargo and everything else as well.
I still stand by I think the LTI is only relevant to the capital size ships. In my opinion, it's the only thing it's relevant to that would even be any surmisable amount of money. The rest of it is a nickel dime stuff you wouldn't even notice. It's kind of like in World of Warcraft when you're sitting there buying stuff and you're in a guild and they're taking a little bit of taxes towards the guild. You don't even freaking notice it. So
that's
even
exactly. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, even if you think LTI is the biggest deal in the world, you can do what I'm doing for my Cutlass Black, right? Like for me, this is just something I want to do. Pick up a Reliant. They're going to be $50. That's the only ship that's cheaper than that is the $45 starter ships, right? So melt whatever ship you have, unless it has your alpha package or your game package on it. So if you have multiple ships, this is good. Or if you have a ship in mind that you didn't buy because it doesn't have LTI anymore, buy this and then CCU it later. If you want to fly it right now in Arena Commander, you can still rent it. So it's perfectly viable to do that as well. If it's that big of a deal for you, and no argument can convince you that it's not worth your time or effort.
Gaius Freeman mentions it's the same thing in Elite Dangerous, that the cost of the hull is just, it's a fraction of, you know, I mean, if your ship gets blown up, there's I mean, it's like maybe, 1,500 credits to replace it. It's like, it's no big deal. I mean, you can make that in one mission. And Ben said basically the same thing in Reverse the Verse today. It's you go back to, I think you mentioned Privateer or something. It's like every time you dock, you dock, and there's like a 50 credit, docking fee, and you never remember that thing because
I never noticed it.
It was gone.
I love that game. I never even knew that it was there. I honestly never knew it was there. I think my only opinion on the LTI, and I really don't think they should give LTI for all purchase ships before release, because people are going so bonkers over them and they want them so bad. This is making our game better. It's great advertising and it's a great selling point for Star Citizen because these guys love it.
Yeah, the only thing I think LTI is a big deal on it just means, well, that 50 credits that I saved, I can buy a new souvenir from Terra. Woohoo!
Yeah. Or like a space potato.
Yeah, there you go.
One space potato.
A cubicle space potato.
Yeah.
It tastes like a watermelon.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
From also James Cutts, Greycat 6000 SUX variant.
Fun acrobatics, maybe?
Also from James Cutts, will the Reliant have a space toilet?
I think
Do aliens use the bathroom?
It's a two-man starter ship, right? It's the only starter ship that's a two-person ship. We don't know what... I think, from what I understand, the configuration is side by side, but they could be one in front of another. I'm not quite too sure.
What really tantalized me about that ship was talking about how it's doing more of the Xi'an, so it's going to have a different type of thruster system, plus the UI or whatever, the interface that you're going to look at is going to be totally different in the cockpit, which... That's why I want that one.
Actually, now that you
we haven't
mentioned
seen the Scout yet.
that is Xi'an, it may be one person on top of another. Like
That would be
maybe
cool.
more vertical ship.
So
Right?
cool. Yep. I'm with you, Trent.
That would be sexiness.
Don't
He's
get
gonna,
too excited.
And since it's Xi'an, it will probably have a Xi'an toilet, which is sort of like an ovipositor. It's just a tube that goes up. And anyway, so
and Trendane. Well, that makes me think of that Trendane will probably
don't make that
Toilets?
Yeah, Trendane will probably marry a male Xi'an if he likes the Xi'an stuff so much in the game.
What if they have like a big, very masculine, attractive Xi'an? Then what?
Yeah.
No? All right.
No.
Humans
Yeah.
only?
Well, maybe not only, but just not Xi'an.
Okay.
If the Kilrathi come back, oh my God! Yes. From Magpie, what do you guys wait? What did you guys? I'm going to reword this so it makes sense. What did you guys think of Reverse the Verse today?
They need
I
to be
was
in
sleeping.
slow mode. Badly.
Maybe, yeah, maybe so.
I still think, and it's great and all, and I love them some more personal side, but I want them to kind of more hone, because a lot of people are going there to get their questions answered. I would like them to roll out more, answering more questions quicker, stay on topic with the questions. I mean, it's cool that they're going to go see this movie and all, but I know the majority of the crowd that's there, they want to see questions get answered.
Yeah, and like
Even if it's
that's
like
not what they
want
want it to be, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
They want it, like, even Jenny said it today. Who cares? This is us chilling. Like, this is our casual. So like they know going there, like, that's what it is. I just wish it was a couple less people. I think there's just a few too many people.
People, like, even as much as they want to push it to that's what they want it to be, and as much as they want to try and convince everybody that's what they want it to be,
It's not what we
that's
want.
not what the audience wants, and that's not what we want. And I've said this before. We want to know about the game. Like yeah, having those interviews with the different devs and stuff, and what their favorite movie is and all that other stuff. That's all fun, and it gets to know the development people behind it. But for the most part, that's like, and I don't want this to come off as like rude or anything, but people don't care about it. They want the reason people are so invested in this game is because of the game. And whenever somebody gets the opportunity to learn more about the game or try and pry more information, whether it be from Travis or Ben or Jenny or James or whoever, that's what they're going to try and do. So, and that's going to be the continued thing. They could say, no matter what, we will never answer a question about the game on this again. People will continue to ask.
Yeah, I mean, did you look? The second Travis went and sat down, the chat just went shoo and just shot. You couldn't even see. He even got like uncomfortable because he couldn't handle it. Like, because everyone knew it was answer questions time. You know what I mean? It wasn't just talk about McDonald's.
And there's not very many times where the fans get to interact live with them, with any of the development team or anybody. So of course they're going to jump on that opportunity. And yeah, I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and I love to see more of the personable, because even if it's off the cuff, because I kind of like that kind of question off the fly answering questions, because it even makes you feel closer to them because it's more down to earth if they kind of do more of that. I mean, I don't mind them talking about what they're going to do today and stuff, because I like to know how their day is going, make sure that they're not overworking themselves to death, and that they're actually enjoying themselves along the way.
And that's what we're seeing is them enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
But I think at times it'd be nice. I like to see every one of them there, but kind of rotate them in and out. Have about 4 people there at every given time, but just okay, this week we'll have these 4. The next week we'll have these 4, and just have at least maybe mainly not even Ben has to be there all the time, because I know he's super busy and taking on a lot more.
What is this?
What's wrong?
Time.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
we have 6 minutes left.
Oh, go ahead.
We have
Let's go on to the next question.
1 or 2 more questions.
No, we got to go around the room and talk about each other.
Oh, right.
Okay.
As well. Okay, let's do that then. Let's start with Trendane.
Why start with me?
Why not?
Good point. All right. Good. My name is Trendane. I'm Trendane everywhere on the interwebs, with the exception of Facebook, where I am Trend.Sparks. Yeah, voice actor type person.
He's sparkly.
CIG, I'm a voice actor type person. Like you don't know that. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Next.
Trendane everywhere. Clifford, aka
Me. I'm easy, so I'm just gonna post my
Whoa.
dual chat and just say,
Yeah.
I'm
Whoa.
real easy. I'm easy on the eyes. You can just go onto my Twitch page, Clifford _aka_Miku, and then I have my links there to my Twitter, YouTube, etc. On the panels, just click and you'll get there. So there you go.
Look at how many ships he has.
All of the ships. He has a spreadsheet of ships. Twerk17, where can we find you?
Twerk17 on Twitch, Twerk17 at Twerk17 Gaming on Twitter, YouTube. I'm still not fortunate enough to have enough subscribers to have a custom link, so search Twerk17 on YouTube, and through all the booty pictures, you'll find my logo somewhere in there. And
Booty.
yeah,
Are
and
you-
on the Redacted podcast as well.
Yeah, redacted. Don't forget that, fools.
Are you streaming today after this?
For about 45 minutes, yes.
And then there's myself, Geekdomo. You can find me at twitch.tv/Geekdomo. And yeah, no. So I am WTFOSaurus. You can find me at twitch.tv/WTFOSaurus. It is my and Twerk's 1-year anniversary today. I will be starting my 24-hour stream. I was supposed to start at 1 o'clock, but now it's going to be like 4 o'clock. So we just added 3 hours. 27 hours, whatever. Done it before.
Well, couldn't you say that this is part of your 24
No.
hour stream? Okay, fine,
No.
fine. Don't
So I'll be giving away all kinds of cool stuff today. We have a Vanguard, a Hull B, that Constellation model that got signed by Chris Roberts from Clifford. We have Grand Theft Auto 5. We have starter ships. We have gift cards, and we have Subflare as well. So all kinds of stuff. Make sure to come check us out. We'll be doing a triple stream with Clifford, aka Miku, and Twerk for the 45 minutes and whatever times he can pop in. And tomorrow when he comes on as well. Right?
Yeah, in the
So-
morning I'll be on. Like once I wake up for my normal stream, I'll be on. But yeah, I've been
Yeah.
going since 6 a.m. and have not eaten today. So we're gonna
And
have to
I
do that
did
at some point.
message Lando about doing a dual stream with them in the morning as well. They start at 10 tomorrow. He said yes, but we'll see what happens because as they get
Things
busy,
happen.
things happen. So thank you for everybody coming by. Very much appreciated. I'm sure Domo's going to host somebody.
Base.
We love you all in the face, in the pants, and big
Thanks for having
Domo
me on.
hugs. Thanks for
Appreciate
having me on as well.
Yeah, and don't forget the bass afterwards, right, Trendane?
Oh yeah,
The base, yes.
Yeah, the bass. We love the
All right,
bass.
guys. Take care.
Be Trendane careless.
Oh, yes, be careless. Yeah,
Right.
that thing.
that
Yeah,
thing.
Forgot about that.
Yep.
I don't know.
Wasn't there a
Close for, if we're still live.
Yeah.
No, there was a thing that you were talking about that one time.
It's funny if Geek Domo stepped away. We're just sitting here
I know.
forever.
We can just chat it up.
We're just
Yeah.
hanging out. Oh,
Now we're on. Now
This is what we look like when we're naked.
Yeah.
This is after hours.
Oh wow.
Starcast
There we go.
After Hours is being brought to you today by the letter M. All right, it's time to go over and raid the base.
Let's do it.
there we go.
Rico, baby.
Right, Rico.
I'll
And make
talk to
him
you guys
laugh.
later.
All right,
Yeah,
see you
make
later.
Rico laugh.
See you
Howling
guys.
monkey.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Domo.
See you later. All right, we'll
Wait,
see
wait.
you all very, very soon over on the base. Let's go raid them right now. I gotta put the link in here. Hold on.
Okay. You'll tell us when we're offline.
No, you're gonna stay on forever. There we go. Starcast raid. We'll see you guys over on the base. Love ya. Bye bye.